Good evening and welcome into Ronda, North Carolina for a showdown in Mountain Valley Athletic Conference play. Two teams with one goal in mind, staying undefeated in the Mountain Valley 1A, 2A conference. One will walk out of here with undefeated record. The other one will be handed their first loss in conference play. Good evening, I'm Tyler Ashe, alongside Nathan Hammond, East Wilkes High School in Ronda, North Carolina, for another edition of Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Nathan, we are in, simply put, a heavyweight matchup in hand for us tonight.
Yeah, these two teams so far have been the class of the conference, and East Wilkes, they've really put some beat downs on a lot of people, and Ashe, they've improved every game so far, and tonight we'll find out who wants to take that undefeated spot, just keep it rolling, and the team that loses, they'll have to bounce back. But first things first, tonight's game between the Huskies and the Cardinals. And
the Huskies take the field in what will be a hostile environment tonight at East Wilkes High School, as they have come out in full force in anticipation of the main event tonight at East Wilkes High School. So both of these teams, as we stack up, looking at them now. Of course, East yet to lose on the season, Nate, 7-0. You said they've been putting some beat downs on teams and have yet to allow a single point to be scored against them in conference play.
Yeah, the Cardinals have just been super impressive so far this year. Really know how to run the football, mix it up a little bit, throw in a pass play here and there to keep teams honest. But and their triple option threat, that's just tough for teams to defend.
And on that note, we'll take a look at the Ashe County Ford keys to tonight's ball game. Of course, the Huskies, they hope to keep that ground game going, Nate. And as you mentioned it there just a second ago, going to have to stop the run.
Yeah, they've certainly got to work on stopping the run. They've been tested with that all season long, and tonight will be just another chapter in that book of teams that they're going to try to run against the Husky defense. And for Ashe, running the ball certainly been something they've been working on each and every week. Sky Sullivan having a couple of his better games of his career the last couple of weeks, and you know, Colin Ellis always a weapon when he pulls that ball down and decides to run.
And before we kick things off, we would like to thank our communications partner, Carolina West Wireless, reminding you that 4G LTE is here. So, Nate, East Wilkes in the red, Huskies in the visiting white. First place in the Mountain Valley Athletic Conference on the line, big-time showdown. And we're ready for the opening kickoff in what should be a great battle between two teams vying to stay at the top of the Mountain Valley Conference. On to kick number 40, Carlos Anquino, and we are underway from Ronda. This kick will be fielded by Mason McNeil just outside the 20, trying to cut back, and he is going to be bottled up quickly at the 25-yard line. Maybe a little bit too much east-west on that return.
Yeah, a little bit too much dancing back there instead of heading north and south. We'll see what the Husky offense can do. Probably hoping for a little bit better field position, but with our powerful offensive attack, sometimes field position doesn't mean a whole lot.
And our K&K Stitch and Screen player to watch, of course, preseason selection at the wide receiver position in the state of North Carolina. Number 4, Mason McNeil, had 2 touchdown catches as part of his 4 receptions last year, go along with 77 yards against East Wilkes. First play, Ellis fires down the field, and he finds McNeil. Makes one guy miss 2. Cuts it back, gets a nice block from Hudler. He's up to the races, 40, 30. Anybody going to catch him? He's inside the 20, the 10, and he will be forced out of bounds. But how about that for the first play from scrimmage for the Huskies?
You can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Terrific play right out of the gate, and it's already going to be first and goal for the Huskies.
Man, what a return from McNeil on cue. He heard us talking about him here as the K&K Stitch and Screen player to watch. Made, 3 or 4 guys miss on his way to setting up the Huskies in a first and goal situation.
Yeah, you got to like those yards after catch there. Probably about a 10, 15-yard pass, but he just turned it upfield. And credit to the Huskies blocking downfield, had some help as well.
So still getting settled in here tonight, and boy, he just shocks the home crowd already. Does Mason McNeil on that catch. Ellis making a great throw, hitting his man in stride. Now they'll go to the ground game here. Sullivan, and he's going to be stopped right about the 5-yard line. Last week, Nate, we saw him go for 3 big rushing touchdowns against West Wilkes, and the Huskies, I believe they had that one drive going where they did nothing but run the football and took it down the field, just punched it down the throats, really, of that West Wilkes Blackhawks team.
Yeah, East Wilkes a little bit different animal tonight. They're going to have to be able to do, I would say, both to have success and not be able to run the ball and pass the ball. But as you said, Sky Sullivan, a whole lot to build on off his great game last week.
Second goal from the 5. Sullivan gets the call again. He's off to the left side. He's going to be brought down right around the 3-yard line. A nice run right there from the junior tailback. Looks like he may be a little shaken up on that play.
We do have an Ashe County player shaken up on the play.
Not really sure what the situation is here, just grabbing his face mask. Here at the 10:50 mark, just into the game, Huskies putting together a nice drive. As we see trainer Adam Elliott and head coach Brian Hampton come out to tend to the junior tailback. If this is anything serious, Nate, this is a big blow for the Huskies right off, what, the 3rd play in the game.
Yeah, it's a little over a minute into this game, and starting tailback laying there on the ground, barely moving, something you definitely don't want to see for any team, but especially for your team trying to win a big game. Hopefully he'll be able to shake it off, but right now just not sure what's going on. Hopefully he'll hang in there and be okay.
So while they are tending to Sky Sullivan, Nate, let us take a quick look here at coming into this matchup. We said it, these two teams at the top of the conference. There was a big upset last week. You know, last check at when we looked at it, we knew Wilkes Central was beating Star Map, but they really put it down on them, and now both of those teams saddled up there in that 3rd and 4th place mark, and the winner of this one's really going to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, Wilkes Central really bounced back from its tough game against Ashe and decided to take out a little bit of its frustrations on a Star Mount team and, you know, kind of beat the brakes off of them there in the second half, really pulled away. Yeah, whoever wins this game is really going to feel good about their standings with only 3 games left to play after tonight.
And as you can see, Sky Sullivan sitting up. Adam Elliott and Coach Brian Hampton having a little chat there with him. And he's going to get up to his feet, which is always a good sign.
Shaken up on the play, but he's back on his feet.
Gotta hope that young fella's going to be okay. Not sure what extent this injury will be, and whether or not we'll see him the remainder of this ball game tonight. It looks to be a pretty serious one, a head injury possibly.
Yeah, looks like Adam Elliott there checking out his eyes, checking out some eye movement there. Certainly, you hope it's not a concussion, but you know, somebody's laid on the ground that long, pulling at their helmet. That's it's probably a tough issue there.
So he's up on his own power, Sky Sullivan, star tailback for this Ashe County Huskies team. He's going to at least be sidelined for a little while. We'll see what the extent of that injury is. May not see him the rest of the night. Nate, a big question here now early. How are the Huskies going to respond without their junior tailback in the game?
Well, looks like they've got John Revis out here on the field. We saw him get a few carries last week, but some of those were kind of garbage time carries. Tonight he's going to have to try to get some yards against a good top-tier defense.
Back to the action now, 3rd and goal from the 3. Ellis looking to the corner of the end zone, well over the head of the intended man. That was Sam Hudler in the corner he was looking for, and right away, Nate, the Huskies going to be faced with a 4th and goal inside the 5.
See what the Huskies want to do here. It's the way Kendall Richardson's been kicking lately. It's a chip shot for him, but you know, it's tough to just go with field goals against a team as good as East Wilkes. But looks like we may have a field goal attempt, try to get the Huskies on the board.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Hampton's try to go for what he hopes are the sure 3 points. He'll be cooking it from about the 3-yard line, so we got a 20-yard field goal attempt. Snap the hold, the kick is up, and it's good. Richardson delivers right on the money. Chip shot there, as you mentioned, for the senior kicker. And the Huskies get on the board quickly in this ball game as we take a look at that Ashe County Ford drive to the field goal.
Here we go, 5 plays, 72 yards. Of course, most of it came on that one big pass to Mason McNeil. But Kendall Richardson just keeps nailing these field goals. We've seen last 2 or 3 weeks he's had some good solid kicks, and Coach Hampton continues riding the hot leg.
So he delivers, and the Huskies on top at the 10:35 mark. First on the board to draw blood in this one, 3-0, so a nice early lead. But Nate, this is something we said, you know, potentially could come back in future games to haunt the Huskies, and there it is. At least they do get the points, but not being able to finish off those drives when they get deep in the opponent's territory.
Yeah, usually, especially at the high school level, you really got to punch these in for touchdowns. when you're facing a good team like this, sometimes you can get away with it when you're facing some not quite as talented teams. But when you're trying to beat a team that hasn't lost all season long, when you're inside that red zone, you need to punch them in for touchdowns.
So fresh off of his field goal, Richardson on to boot this one deep for the Huskies, and it is a good high kick. Will be fielded right at the goal line. They're going to return this one. He's out across the 15 to the 20, got some space on the near side, the 30, the 40. He's finally going to be wrestled down by Brown. Not before he gets out across the 45-yard line. What a return there to crank things up for the Cardinals.
Yeah, great return there. And for the Husky defense, their back's up against the wall early on. The Cardinals get some great field position to start this almost near midfield.
So they're about the 47-yard line, we'll call it. Nate, who's the guy to watch as far as offensively for the East Wilkes Cardinals?
Well, you're going to hear a whole lot of Andrew Nance tonight. He's a senior tailback, 5'10", 153 pounds. He's going to be a real weapon. And, of course, they've got a big old fullback there. That's an understatement. He's really going to be a load for the defense to stop. 6'3", 222 pounds. He's a big weapon for the Cardinal offense.
Yeah, and we saw number 7, Cameron Bryan, the big man, get the carry. You don't see too many fullbacks with that kind of size, regardless of the level, but especially in high school.
Oh yeah, when you're usually that big, you're going to be on the offensive or defensive line or both. But such a good athlete, they're putting him in the backfield, letting him carry the ball.
There's number 3, Devin Couch, on the toss to the outside, and he takes it into Husky territory, going to switch fields. Garrett Miller forcing him out. Going to bring up a quick third down, though. 3rd and 5 yards to go for the first, we'll call it. Ball on the Husky 47-yard line. Big opportunity right here, Nate, to get that Cardinal offense off the field.
It could be a good quick stand by the Husky defense, exactly what they need if they can get off the field on this 3rd and 5.
Number 10, Brian Vestal, the QB, hands this one off, just straight up the gut. And how about the call from the Husky defense? Big Luis Ramos getting in on the action.
Yeah, nothing doing there for the big fullback. How about that Husky defense? Great start. Couldn't ask for a much better opening defensive set for the Huskies.
I'll say got about a yard on that one. Tough to see from here. Looked like he barely got to the line of scrimmage from the angle, but picks up a yard, they'll call it. So 4th down and 4. And now if you're Coach Atkins, do you leave that offense on the field and roll the dice here early in the game, trailing 3-0?
Well, looks like he's thinking about doing that. A little bit surprised myself. I figured he would punt and let his defense go out there and see what they could do. This is the first points they've given up in 4 conference games now. A little bit surprised he's going to risk it here, but he's got a lot of faith in his offense.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the first points anybody's scored on this team, and the Huskies put up that field goal. So here they're going for it. 4th down and 4. Rolling out is Vestal. He's going to try to make something happen. He's got to outrun Richardson. He does. And going forward, looks like he's got the first down. Move those chains. So a big-time gain by the quarterback on the keeper. And Vestal, who wasn't originally scheduled to be the starting quarterback this year due to injury, he is now, picks up the first down.
Yeah, East Wilkes got to be happy with that play. It was supposed to be a pass play. It broke down pretty quick, but Vestal used his athletic ability and read the defense coming at him and able to get around the end for the first down.
So a fresh set of downs on the 40-yard line. Vestal goes back to work under center, sends a man in motion. That is Nance, but he'll give it up the gut to his big fullback. And there we see Bryan rumble his way down right on the 35-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and 5. And hey, that's another question I think a lot of people have regarding this East Wilkes team. We know these guys are good, but how good, just how good is this team? I know they're undefeated and they haven't given up a point in conference, but some people point to maybe their strength of schedule not being that as the caliber of the Huskies.
Yeah, it's definitely arguable. Of course, they haven't had to play Wilkes Central or Starmount yet, so that's helped them out in terms of defensive statistics. But they played a decent non-conference schedule, nothing great. I don't think anybody's really sure exactly how good this East Wilkes team can be. But when you're at this point of the year still unbeaten, you got to think you're still a pretty good football team, no matter who you've played. Yeah,
you're definitely doing something right to be coming in here at 7-0 and tops in the Mountain Valley Conference. As we saw the carry up the middle that time from Nance. Didn't get much, but it was enough for the first down at the 30-yard line. They're quickly piecing together a very nice drive.
It's a good job here from the Cardinals, really putting the Husky defense on its heels, backing up. The defensive line really needs to start getting a little bit of a better push up front.
Vestal turns and fires to the near side. Catch is made and picks up about 5 more yards. Pass was caught.
Pass is complete to Jared Poplin. Going to be a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
So that's going to be about a 5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the first now. Inside of 7 minutes in the opening quarter. Huskies on top early. East Wilkes is threatening. It's a 3-0 game, and there is the call to number 3, Devin Couch. Flags do fly as he gets it into red zone territory. He's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field. Hudler in on the action along with Ramos and Garrett Miller. Let's see if this was a hold, and indeed it was. So a break there for the Huskies. His first down yardage was picked up, but it will negate the gain on the ground that time by Couch. Sets them back at their own 33-yard line.
2nd down, 2nd and 14.
2nd down, about 14 to go for the first now. Back to work come the Cardinals after the holding penalty. Trying to keep this drive rolling right along. Nance gets the carry, bottled up at the line of scrimmage. And how about that stand by the Husky defensive front?
Yeah, that's a lot more like it. We saw Josh Hamilton, Tristan Jones in there bringing the ball carrier down. That's a great push up front, exactly what the Huskies needed.
I tell you, you just look at it here compared to his defensive line. Tristan Jones, not a very big guy in terms of a linebacker stance, but he can still lay the boom on players.
Yeah, of course, he was our leading tackler last season, and he's right up there again this year. He's been a key part of the defense up the middle. And I tell you, it's tough to really compare your size to that defensive line we've got. But Tristan Jones certainly able to hit with some power from the linebacker spot.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Vestal throws back to the near side. It's caught by Nance. He's got some room to work inside the 30, the 25. Still on his feet, and he's down near the 10-yard line, first down.
Nicely designed play with a throwback screen. Just a perfect execution for the Cardinals. And they'll keep this drive going with another first down.
First down.
Really milking the clock here. We're under the midway point through the first quarter. 5:43 on the clock. As it stops as the chains are reset. And how about this drive they're piecing together, mixing it up there with a nice screenplay.
It's something we've seen the Cardinals do a little bit throughout the year, but right there, Ashe really not expecting a little throwback screen, and it worked perfectly.
1st and 10. Ball just outside the 10-yard line. Here's the floater to the end zone. Boy, that was a dangerous pass. He just lofted that one, and it falls incomplete. Some nice defense by Simon Howe. Intended there for Alec Anderson, 6'3" senior wideout. But a nice job by the Husky secondary.
Yeah, good job there by Howe, reading that play nicely, not getting moved up in the wash there, expecting a run play all over his man.
Makes it 2nd down and 10. Ball about the 12-yard line. Sends Nance in motion. He'll get it on the toss sweep. He's on the left side looking for the end zone. Stretches forward. Did it cross the plane? No, they're going to say he was out. Just a couple yards shy. He was forced out of bounds. Nice run there on the toss sweep play by Andrew Nance.
That's going to be close to first down.
Set the Cardinals up with some pretty nice field position here. This close, you got to expect you're going to see that big fullback get the ball at least a couple times.
Yeah, one would certainly think so. They're close to a first down now. As the ball's placed on the left hash mark.
Just a little less than a yard.
So they're going to say it's still going to be 3rd down, less than a yard to go. They still garner the first. Ball just outside the 2-yard line. Vestal under center. They're looking to cap off what's been a great drive so far. Sends Nance in motion. Fullback gets the carry, and he's going to be tripped up just short of the goal line. It looks like he has enough, and there's the signal for the first. So really in business now, Nate, whenever you're first and goal right around the 1 yard line.
Yeah, might not have gotten the touchdown there, but did get you the first down. And that's going to be tough to be able to stop this rushing attack. All I need, that looks like it could be less than a yard from where we're at.
Cameron Bryan, the big fullback, doing the work. Do you expect him to get the call again?
You got to expect he will. But, the Husky defense is really going to key on that, so they may go away from the big man on this play.
Vestal keeps it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Cardinals.
And nice ball there. Just a quick snap right up the middle. Easy touchdown for East Wilkes.
Sirens going off and everything with that score, and they quickly gain the lead for the first time tonight. Does East Wilkes, as we see on the Mountain Outfitters replay. You can get great shots just like this at Mountain Outfitters in downtown West Jefferson. Nothing fancy, just the QB keep gets a nice push from his offensive line, and Vestal plows his way into the end zone. 6-3 pending the extra point. Snap. Oh, the kick from Anquino is up, and it's good. 7-3. East Wilkes climbs back ahead here at the 4:41 mark in the opening period. Now we'll take a look at that. Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone, impressive to say the least.
Yeah, exactly what East Wilkes wants to do. They want to eat some time up and just run the ball down your throat. And right there, 14 plays, 52 yards, capped off by a 1 yard touchdown. I guess you call it a run. He pretty much all I do is reach out, but touchdown run there goes to Bryce Vestal.
So the quarterback keeper works, and East Wilkes takes their first lead of the night at 7-3 in the opening quarter. As we'll see Aquino come on to boot this one away. And Nathan, here's something the Huskies haven't been faced with in a while, playing from behind.
Yeah, it's something they haven't seen at least last 3 or 4 contests, but tonight a little bit different story, and of course a little bit different opponent, and playing on the road doesn't help either. But for Ashe, they've certainly got the offense and the ability to be right back in this game, only down 4 points.
Still a lot of football to be played here tonight, but East Wilkes looks like they're up to the task, and a great job answering by them on their first offensive possession. Aquino's kick will be fielded. Here comes McNeil again, working it from the 15. He'll be dropped after a pretty nice gain. He gets it out there at about the 30-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Ashe County Huskies.
1st and 10 Huskies at the 30-yard line.
Two teams coming in here, looking to set the pace and keep it up as far as Mountain Valley Conference play goes. Each squad undefeated. Ellis feeling the heat, tosses a jump ball up and nearly intercepted. That was a difficult throw, making it there on the far sideline. Some great defense being applied. He was looking for Judd Price.
Yeah, we saw senior Alec Anderson there almost come down with that one. I tell you, you got a safety back there that measuring in at 6'3". It's tough to throw a jump ball around that kid.
And we've seen Ellis sort of avert danger with that throw and be paid for it there with a great completion last 2 weeks, one to Mason McNeil against Allegheny, and then, of course, last week against West Wilkes to Judd Price. We saw a very similar route. As we see Colin Ellis with a great run himself there, Nate, on the QB keep, garners the first down.
That was a well-blocked play there. He picked up several yards before he was even touched. That was an easy first down for the Huskies.
And perhaps something we'll see more of now as far as establishing the ground game with Colin Ellis. With Sky Sullivan out, we're still not sure the exact extent of that injury. As Ashe County, Coach Brian Hampton burns his first time out of the night. It is a Littles Health and Fitness Center timeout. Littles Health and Fitness in West Jefferson, inviting you to take time out of your day. Get active at Littles in West Jefferson. So Nathan, as we take a look now at the Ashe County Husky schedule from last season, we see on there a big one on October 17th, almost to the date. Ashe County put a hurting on East Wilkes, but a much different scenario we're going to see here tonight.
Yeah, we saw East Wilkes improve pretty much every year under Coach Atkins, and this year certainly the cream of the crop so far. Best start they've been off to in decades. So definitely a different team, and but for Ashe, little bit different team as well, but so far this year they've really taken care of business against the conference teams, just like they did last year. So I think that's why this game had so much intrigue around it.
Yeah, Ashe certainly taking care of business there. Not to be overlooked as well with their nice 4-game winning streak. We saw the Huskies off to a bit of a slow start, did that very tough non-conference slate. And here we're actually going to see Grant Thompson in at quarterback. Nate, how about this look for the Huskies?
Yeah, we'll change it up a little bit, see if we can throw that Cardinal defense for a loop just a little bit.
And that's going to go against the Huskies. False start. And we don't even have Colin Ellis in the game right now. Grant Thompson takes the snap. Just hand it off here to Revis, who is stacked up immediately. How about that push from the defensive front from the Cardinals?
Good job there up front for East Wilkes. Pretty much their whole defensive line just got broke through on that play. And that'll really back the Huskies up even further back from that penalty.
I didn't see that previous play on the end. Did Ellis's helmet pop off? Is that why he had to sit out that one play?
It may have. I wasn't sure on that.
Trying to think of the reason there. I assume so, but Ellis back into the mix now as we saw Jake Richardson head to the sideline. Grant Thompson goes back out to his wideout position. Big loss there. Backs him up to the 35. Second down, we'll call it 18 to go for the first and hold everything. Still don't see the flag thrown on the field, but they're calling another offside penalty against the Huskies. Wow, I was wondering I thought there might have been an official TO, but that's not the case. 5 more yards in the hole go the Huskies.
I'm not sure how the offense could be offsides and hadn't even snapped the ball, but I'm not an official.
Ellis back into the game, throws it out to the far side, well short of Mason McNeil, who was well guarded down the field. Now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 23. Huskies really in a big deficit here, Nate.
Yeah, it's we don't usually have a play call for this sort of thing, but Colin's got a good arm. We got some good receivers. Just wouldn't be surprised to see him just throw it down the field, hope for the best.
4 wide shotgun set. Revis in the backfield with Ellis. And East Wilkes, Coach J.K. Atkins, he's a little fired up there at his team, not liking what he's seen from his guys right now, how they're lined up. He will take a timeout. It is another Littles Health and Fitness Center timeout. Again, Littles Health and Fitness inviting you to take time out of your day. Stop by, visit them at Littles in West Jefferson. So 3rd down and 23, 3:05 mark. East Wilkes in front right now of the Huskies, 7-3. But we are still here in the very early going of tonight's contest. But already, Nate, you get the sense this is going to be a closely contested matchup and that it may not be a blowout here tonight like last year.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected tonight's game to be a blowout. I think everybody thought it would be close. Two pretty solid teams. And so far we've been treated to a pretty good one. It's had its moments, a couple ugly plays here and there. And hopefully that injury to Sky Sullivan earlier, hopefully he'll be okay. Haven't heard anything new on him yet and hasn't been back on the field. But hopefully Ashe will be able to weather that storm okay.
So again, 3rd and 23 for the Huskies. Ball on their own 30-yard line. Trailing 7-3 in the early going. Tonight's much anticipated matchup between the last 2 undefeated teams in the Mountain Valley Conference. Ellis stepping up, delivering a nice ball, and Mason McNeil just let that one get away from him.
Yeah, it looked like just couldn't quite reel that one in. Pretty good throw there by Ellis. That's a pass you hope your senior All-State wideout could reel in. Just wasn't meant to be on that play.
Yeah, perhaps just a bit in front of the intended target, but McNeil, usually he's pretty adept at bringing those in. He's caught much more difficult throws than that throughout the years. But it'll drop as an incompletion, and now McNeil will drop back His own 15 where he stands and punts this one away. Good high kick. Maybe not quite the distance we've seen from him in the past, but still a pretty good kick there as it rolls dead inside the 35-yard line of the Cardinals, where they'll come back onto the field looking to add to their advantage, up right now 7-3 with under 3 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, for the Huskies, the defense needs to step it up just a little bit on that last drive. East Wilkes kind of had their way with them all the way down the field for the touchdown.
We've seen some athletes come through East Wilkes the last few seasons, but one thing that, Nathan, we talk about, they're ever improving under Coach Atkins and really have flipped it around this year. He's turned the program around this season, but turnovers is something that really seems to bother them, especially in the rushing game.
Yeah, and Coach Atkins really been working on that this season, and you know, he's been in several high-tier programs, so he knows that to win games, you just can't turn the ball over.
How about this run from Nance? Well, we did see a flag fly behind him. Could be in the way of a holding, but right away we see the big playability from Andrew Nance. And that will be a hold against the Cardinals, and we'll back them up. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which will pin them back on their own 26. It was close to ended up being 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Make it first down and 18 yards to go. A little bit of help in the game of field position there for the Huskies. As they look to do something they couldn't do last time East Wilkes had the ball, and that's get that offense off of the field before they punch it into the end zone. First and 18, Vestal under center, sends Nance in motion. He'll give it to the big fullback, Brian, up the middle, and he is forced back. Nothing doing there. Helping leading the charge for the Huskies, we see from his linebacker position, Tristan Jones joining in on the action.
That's out to about the 20.
Luis Ramos.
8-yard line.
Ben Brown in on that as well. Call it a pickup of 3 on the play. Inside of 2 minutes now in the first quarter. 2nd and 15. East Wilkes with the ball and the lead. Nance in motion again. Now they're going to go to the air, trying to avert the defenders, get to him quickly in the backfield. Boy, still spinning around on his feet. This is an impressive run from Vestal, regardless of how many yards he gets, just evading tacklers left and right. Finally, Kendall Richardson brings him down, but not before he gets across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of running there, not for a whole lot of yards, but I tell you, it shows how shifty and athletic he is. Only picked up about 3 yards on that, but made several Husky players miss.
Campbell helped bringing him down as well for the Huskies. 3rd and 12. Ashe County got to get him off the field here. Just how you want to have him. Pin your ears back, go after that QB. There, Vestal is going to drop back and run. Feeling the heat from Ramos. He steps up, delivers a nice throw downfield, and nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Simon Houck wishes he could have had a second shot at that one.
Yeah, Houck could have really been a big-time playmaker there. He would have caught that in stride. East Wilkes may not have been able to catch him. That might have been a pick 6, but either way, the Ashe defense able to hold, and looks like they're going to force a punt. Maybe bring a little bit of momentum over to the Husky sideline.
Pretty good ball that time from Vestal, but a great job from Houck to jump the route. Nearly comes away with the pick. Oh, low snap. He's going to have some difficulty getting this one off, and he's not going to. The Huskies deliver the final blow. There was Kendall Richardson and drop him for a big-time loss. Can't even get the kickoff, and now the Huskies will be rewarded with red zone territory already to start this drive.
Yeah, that's the exact thing Coach Atkins just absolutely hates to see over there. Just self-inflicted wounds. Should have been just a simple punt. Get the ball out, but instead the snap looked like it hit the ground about 4 or 5 times before it even got to the punter. So just a tough break there for the Cardinals.
So the bad snap plagues the Cardinals on that punt attempt. Can't even get a kick off, and the Huskies set up on the 18-yard line to start this drive. There's a nice pass delivered to Judd, and the price is right on that one. That's going to set up 1st and goal for the Huskies.
Good quick answer here from the Huskies. Able to make amends on that turnover. Going to have a great field position here.
First and goal, Ashe
Hopefully
County.
they can punch this one in. Last time had to settle for 3, but this time I really need to put this one in the end zone.
Huskies look to get off this play, probably be the last one of the quarter. Ellis going to keep it himself, dancing around. Can he get into the end zone? Fighting his way forward, pushing, and a good strong finish. Did he cross the plane? Yes, touchdown Huskies.
In the end zone.
Good
Touchdown,
powerful run
Huskies.
there from your quarterback. Puts that one in the end zone, gives Ashe a lead with just 10 seconds left in the first.
Not the biggest of guys, but as we see on the Mountain Outfitters replay, just a relentless effort, and he would not be denied. 5'10", 150-pound quarterback Colin Ellis delivers a touchdown for the Huskies, and they reclaim the lead 9-7 now with Richardson on for the PAT. Snap, the hold, and the kick is good. 10-7. The Huskies have reclaimed the advantage in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Now we take a look at that Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone. Nate, short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah, nice little quick drive, 2 plays, 18 yards, 25 seconds. And Ellis caps that off with the 5-yard touchdown run.
It's a great job by the Huskies after the botched snap and punt attempt. Gifts them with just outstanding field position. Not too many teams going to mess up an opportunity when you're on the 18-yard line to begin a drive, but especially not the Ashe County Huskies in this air raid offense.
Yeah, this time able to get the touchdown, not have to settle for 3. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a Husky fan.
10-7. Huskies back on top. See Richardson gets set up for the kickoff after the last score. As you see on the Miller Insurance scoreboard. And Richardson, short kick this time. Will be fielded. No, missed the ball. And who comes up with it? Huskies say they have it. And still trying to see who's got it at the bottom of the pile. Garrett Miller looks like he comes out with it. And it should be Husky football. Not sure what the referees are deliberating. And what's the call there?
I have no idea.
It was a squib kick from Richardson. We've seen that work here for the Huskies.
That call is an inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle.
And we will re-kick. Boy, I don't know if I like that call.
That penalizes Ashe for a great play there.
I didn't even hear the whistle during the return, just to blow it dead. So Richardson, unfortunately, going to have to back up and kick this one again. The Huskies got the ball. And what was an onside kick recovery ended up being, and this kick well off the mark from Richardson, goes out of bounds. But man, what a call there from the officials.
Yeah, that's something the Husky coaching staff, I'm sure they're really irate about that, and not a whole lot they can do about it, but it just doesn't seem like the whistle even would have mattered at a play like that, but obviously the officials thought it did and made Ashe re-kick, and instead the next kick just straight up shank out of bounds.
Head coach Hampton pacing the sidelines now, none too happy with that call. So after all of that, it's going to be East Wilkes ball on the Husky 48-yard line to begin this drive, trailing 10-7. And there we see a nice run off tackle on the right side by your fullback on the dive play, Cameron Bryan. And that will be the final play of the first period. Ends in a curious fashion, but the Huskies still on top, 10-7, as we end the first quarter on tonight's Sky Zone HD Game of the Week. Stay tuned in. More football coming your way from Ronda, North Carolina, right after this.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Little's Health and Fitness began in 1981. We are a 24/7, full-service, family-friendly fitness center with the finest equipment from Life Fitness, Hammer Strength, and Body Masters, as well as a great staff to help you get started. We have a 22-piece cardio area, so waiting is rarely a problem. We offer group classes for all levels, an extensive array of weights and machines, perfect for the beginner to advanced. We also have meal replacement shakes, tanning, dressing rooms with private showers, personal trainers, and child care is also available.
Welcome back to Ronda, North Carolina at East Wilkes High School, the site for tonight's edition of Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports. Quickly back to the action. It's going to be second down. About 4 yards to go for the first. East Wilkes with the ball trailing 10-7, as you see on the Miller Insurance scoreboard. Going to the air, looking for Nance back across the field. But this one over the head of the intended target. And that's going to bring up a third down and short situation for the East Wilkes Cardinals. So, we were talking about it there during the break. A little bit curious call, to say the least, by the officials. And, really nothing you can do about it if you're Ashe County. You're questioning the call, saying that inadvertent whistle really cost the Huskies possession of the football.
Yeah, we were saying we didn't hear it, and the players certainly didn't hear it. They kept fighting for the ball. So not really sure when it happened, but the players didn't quit trying to get the ball, so it didn't really look like it had any effect on the play whatsoever, but instead the Huskies get penalized for a good kick.
Before the snap, we hear whistle blown, and it's going to be against East Wilkes. So 3rd and 4 now becomes 3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals. Makes things a little more difficult, much more interesting here on this 3rd down attempt as they look to keep this drive alive. The Husky defense be looking to get them off the field once again. They did a great job last time forcing a punt, capitalizing. Whenever there was a bad snap, dropped the punter down at his own 18-yard line. Offense was able to keep the momentum in their favor by punching it in for a touchdown. Vestal under center. Nance in motion. He'll get it on the toss sweep to the left side. And what a run there as he's inside the 35-yard line. I believe that's going to be enough to move those chains.
Nance having a good solid year. Of course, a lot of people have to key in on their big fullback, but at the same time, Nance has quietly had a pretty solid rushing year for the Cardinals. And as you said, picks up a first down.
Yeah, it was just enough to move the chains. A nice run on the toss sweep play. 1st and 10, East Wilkes. Inside the 40-yard line. Vestal on the option. This time he's going to keep it himself. He's got some space inside the 30. Will be drugged down from behind by a trio of Husky tacklers, but a nice pickup on 1st down on the quarterback option.
Yeah, nice play there. Vestal hanging on to that ball. And East Wilkes put another nice little drive together here. Got the Ashe defense backpedaling a bit down near the 25-yard line.
And a fresh set of downs once again as the first down is garnered. On the tackle there that time for the Huskies, Tristan Jones, Matt Greer. 2 of the Huskies in on the action. 10-7 our score, less than a minute into the second period. Huskies with the advantage, trying to stall this East Wilkes drive. Looking good so far. Vestal now feeling the heat. He's trying to get rid of this. Throws it to the sideline, and did he stay in bounds? Yes, what a catch. Laying out was Andrew Nance. Nice toe tap in there on the sideline to get a foot in.
And good job there by Vestal. He was under a lot of pressure. We saw at least 3 or 4 Husky players chasing after him, but makes a great throw right to the sideline. Nance pulls it in.
Going to bring up 2nd and 3.
7-yard gain on the play. You talk about that, a great job from your quarterback as your QB really extends that with his legs and buys himself enough time to deliver a perfect throw to Andrew Nance. And Gain 7. Working it into the red zone now as the carry goes to the big guy. Ryan, brought down by Tristan Jones and a couple of other tacklers. He's down to the 15 into red zone territory. First down, Cardinals. Really liking what I'm seeing out of these guys, doing pretty much what they want on offense at this point.
Yeah, it seems like it's been that way for most of the season. And, you know, so far into this game, you can certainly say that East Wilkes looks like they're definitely for real. They've got good size up front, good speed on the outside, and just exactly what you want to see from a good team.
Sends a man in motion and gives the handoff up the middle on the option carry, and fullback dive play just gets you maybe a yard.
I believe, first on the hit.
Cameron Bryan, little to nothing on that play.
Should be a gain of a couple.
Let's say he got a couple, actually, so favorable spot. The second down and 8. First place on the line in this Mountain Valley Conference showdown between the 4-3 Huskies and the 7-0 Cardinals of East Wilkes. Of course, both teams 3-0 in Mountain Valley Conference play. Head of the class so far this year in the Mountain Valley. Second down play is going to get Nance sort of on a reverse handoff. The ball comes loose, and it's going to be Husky football. Ball pops out, and there to snatch it's big, number 77, Josh Hamilton. Well, he was holding that thing out there, showing it off, too, after the pilfer.
Yeah, he timed that perfectly. It looked like he just reached a hand out there, just grabbed that thing. And great play there from Hamilton.
So how about that? The Husky defense with a big response, poking the ball loose and coming up with it on the fumble recovery, and that'll send this Ashe County offense back into action. Just what you like to see out of the Huskies. That will kill what was becoming a very impressive East Wilkes drive. They were really doing what they wanted, and then the turnover will thwart their attempt to retake the lead here in the second period.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a much better time defensive stop from the Huskies. Back's really starting to get up against the wall. Definitely did not want to get behind again, having this slim lead. But East Wilkes was certainly moving the ball, but instead the Husky defense comes up with a big strip and give the ball back to the offense.
Ellis takes the shotgun snap, going deep down the far sideline, has his man Hudler, and he just can't hang on to it. Man, maybe led him just a bit too much, but that was a pretty darn good throw from Colin Ellis.
Yeah, that pass looked like it went right through Sam Hudler's hands, unfortunately. Looks like there's a flag down as well.
We do have a flag down.
So Hudler lets that one kind of slip through his hands. Wouldn't have been an easy catch, but he did have a step or two on the defenders that were in pursuit. And we see there laundry on the field.
That's a personal foul.
Personal foul, roughing the passer is called against East Wilkes, so the Huskies will be gifted a first down, 15 yards.
Yeah, that takes a little sting out of missing on the big pass play. Get 15 yards on the late hit.
As you said, it may not make the difference, as Hudler may have been off to the races, but 15 yards, pretty good consolation prize. And the first down is garnered. Ellis joined by Revis in the backfield. If you're just tuning in, Sky Sullivan went down early in the first period, maybe the third play from scrimmage on a first and goal carry inside the 5. Took a couple of hard hits there and still not sure the extent of the injury. It appeared to be maybe a head injury. And we're still trying to get some updates on that. There's a nice pass to Price. Look at him thwart a couple of would-be tacklers. Still on his feet, working it across midfield. He's inside the 40 and will finally be ankle tackled, but not before he gets deep into East Wilkes territory. And a late push as well as flags fly.
That certainly looked like Alec Anderson there really saved a touchdown. But we lost a little bit of temperament there. Both teams.
Boy, the Huskies are fired up on that one. Anderson, Judd Price there. Anderson gave him just a little bit of a push. And it's going to be enough, it appears, to draw a personal foul penalty. So back-to-back plays, we're going to get personal fouls called against the East Wilkes Cardinals. So big gain will be upheld and tack on an additional 15 yards as the Huskies are really in business now as they set up shop at the 15-yard line. First and 10. Back to red zone territory. Been successful here so far tonight. First time they had to settle for a field goal. Here's a pass caught by Revis. And he's working it down inside the 10. A nice catch there from the tailback. Huskies haven't gone his way much since Sullivan had to exit with the injury in the first quarter. He has had one carry, which went for a couple of yards of loss there. Now he'll catch a nice pass out of the backfield for about a 6-7 yard gain. Second down, about 3 yards to go. Ball inside the 10. Ellis going to keep it himself off to the left, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies.
Good job there by Ellis once again, just taking what the defense is going to give him. If they're going to give him the end zone, just take it.
So the Huskies rolling ahead here, pushing their lead up to 9 as we take a look at that scoring play on the Mountain Outfitters replay. 16-7 on the nice run from your very mobile quarterback. Richardson now on for the extra point. So far a field goal. Extra point just credit. This one's blocked. Man alive, and a great burst through the line. That was number 2, Andrew Elmore, the junior middle linebacker, getting his big hands on that one. So the extra point attempt is no good, but the damage was done there. If you're the East Wilkes Cardinals, you gave up the 6 to the Huskies. And how about that drive from Ashe County as we look at that? Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone.
Yeah, 4 plays, 87 yards, minute 13 off the clock, but Colin Ellis doing what he does best there, putting those legs to use, and extends this Husky lead.
And the Huskies, as you said, extended on out to 9 points at the 7:53 mark, 16-7. Your Ashe County Huskies on top. Momentum on the side of the Huskies now. They struck first on a 20-yard field goal, courtesy of senior place kicker Kendall Richardson. East Wilkes would answer with a nice drive of their own. And then the Huskies have connected on a couple of nice plays, both of them via the legs of your quarterback, Colin Ellis, a 5-yard run, and then on that last one, capped it off with a 7-yard run. Great job there from the Huskies, as you said, just 4 plays to take it 87 yards. We see a big-time kick here from Richardson. This one's also going to be fielded at the goal line by Nance. Spins off of a couple of tacklers and gets it out across the 20-yard line. Pretty good return there of about 22 yards.
Alex Richardson, number 50, along with Ben Brown.
They'll start off 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line. 7:44 on the clock. Huskies with the lead. This defense looking to get back to work, forced a turnover on the previous drive. Both teams, Nate, it's easy to say, had come to play here this evening.
Yeah, it's definitely what you would expect from the 2 top teams in this conference. And really slugging it out for Ashe. They have to feel pretty good here. They've come down the mountain able to hold a slim lead.
Man in motion, gets the fake. Vestal keeps it himself on the option carry. And out across the 30-yard line.
Bryce Vestal that time with the keeper. Tackle made by Campbell Connor, number 40. Good game by Mr.
Nice
Vestal.
run. Picks up about 7, maybe 8 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Nice start to the drive for the Cardinals. If you're the Huskies, Nate, you got to be feeling pretty good. You put up 16 points already on a team that hadn't allowed 1 in conference play thus far.
Yeah, we knew tonight would be East Wilkes' biggest test, and so far Ashe has been able to do pretty well. Certainly not blowing them out by any stretch.
Toss to the left. Nance got some room to work out across the 40, and he'll finally be stopped around the 43-yard line, and not before he picks up a 1st down. About an extra 10 yards to be on the safe side.
Along with Tristan Jones. 1st and 10, East Wilkes.
If not for that turnover, though, Nate, East Wilkes is they've looked very good on offense as well.
Yeah, they've been pretty much as advertised. They like to run the football. They've got some good size and power, exactly what you like to see from a team that relies so much on the run. But you got to give Ashe credit. They've made some key stops when needed, and East Wilkes, they've also hurt themselves with the bad snap on the punt and the fumble.
Here's the toss to Couch. He's got the first down, but we did see a flag fly. Looked like it could be a blocking penalty against East Wilkes. Boy, you see Coach J.K. Atkins. He's not happy with the call. And that's going to be a holding penalty. And we've got an injured Husky on the field as the Ashe County staff comes to the near side. Hard to tell from here who the injured player is. Is that Luis Ramos?
It looks like it may be Ramos down over there on the sideline. Hate to see that as much as he's had to battle back from that knee injury from last year.
Yeah, certainly hope this is nothing serious. We've already seen Sky Sullivan go down for the Huskies with a head injury. We're hoping not a concussion, still no official word there. Ramos is up, and he looks to be favoring that right leg. Never a good sign from your big defensive end. I hate to see that with the way he's worked back from an injury already. Hopefully he'll be okay. Not sure exactly what it is. It's a lower leg injury. As he walks off the field under his own power, always a welcome sight to see.
That was a hold call against East Wilkes.
So there was a holding penalty thrown against the Cardinals.
First and 17.
After they had the nice gain. That'll back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be a negative 7 yards when all's said and done. First down and 17 now. Ball backed up to their own 36. Vesta will go back to work, trying to keep this Cardinals offense flying high. And he'll do sort of a counter handoff. And that one's going nowhere. Jake Richardson, along with Campbell, for the Huskies making the stop in the backfield. Also Sam Henson in on the action for the Huskies.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 18.
Loss of 1 makes it 2nd and 18. Great play there from the Husky defensive unit. How about that, Nate? The Richardson brothers lining up on opposite ends on defense. Oh, now we see a reverse. Trying to work it back across the field and going to be going nowhere, and a flag flies in late. That's number 17, Jared Wood, the sophomore wideout, coming in on an end-around play.
Yeah, good job there by the Huskies reading that perfectly. And add insult to injury there. They're going to call a block in the back on that that reverse play there. So they lost yards, and then they're going to have the penalty tacked on.
Wait, no, Hampton's going to decline it. So he's not going to give him another shot at the down. He'll settle for 3rd down and 18 yards to go. Approaching the 5-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. Tonight's edition of Friday Night Football. It's been an entertaining matchup thus far. Ashe County on top, 16-7 over the undefeated East Wilkes Cardinals. 3rd and 18. Sending out a man in motion, he'll get the call. Oh, it's going to be, he lined up like he was going to throw to Couch, and then he's going to be forced out of bounds. So Devin Couch will go out about the 37-yard line, we'll call it.
And it looks like it's going to be about a 4th and 16.
A little short.
East Wilkes.
Even getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Call it 4th down and 16.
Jonathan Lill in kick formation for East Wilkes.
They'll bring on the punting unit.
For Ashe County.
Huskies lined up to return this. Good high kick. Price fields, no, goes through his hands. He's having some trouble corralling it. He eventually will, gets away from a couple of defenders. Now cutting it back across the field, runs into his own man, bounces off, still on his feet, shrugs off a couple of more guys. A fight forward, and not a bad return there from from Judd Price, and he came up not too happy either with the last man who brought him down, but how about that work on the return from Judd Price?
Yeah, that was a whole lot of running there, and still got a pretty good return out of that. And just a lot of one-man work there against the Cardinal coverage team.
So Price works hard. Not a huge return. Maybe gained, Nate, about 10, 15 yards, but He probably ran 30 or 40. Ball just across the 35. We'll call it the 37-yard line to begin this drive on their own side of the field for the Huskies. Ellis feeling the heat, dodges a couple of guys, but he's not going to get away. Slugged down to the ground with authority by number 33, middle linebacker Jordan Knighton.
Adam Hallbrook along with Jordan Knighton. It's going to be a loss
of 2 yards on the play.
2nd and 11.
2nd down and 12 now for the Huskies. Ellis airing it out once again. Was about to say had his man, but there comes the flag in. McNeil couldn't hang on to it. The defense may have been a little bit too good from one Hunter Cleary.
Yeah, didn't get much argument there from Cleary either. Kind of maybe he realized he was there a little bit early on that.
It's going to be a pass interference call against East Wilkes.
Fans don't like it.
No, they're not too happy, as I'm sure they wouldn't be for any penalty that's thrown here tonight against the East Wilkes Cardinals.
1st and 10 Huskies at the East Wilkes 49.
1st and 10 Huskies, as that switches it into East Wilkes territory now on the 49. 3:41 on the clock, 16-7. Huskies with the lead and the ball. Looking pretty good for the Huskies up until this juncture. Enjoying a 9-point advantage, 4 wide set. And it's going to go to Revis out of the backfield. And he's got the 1st down and a few extra to be on the short side. Nice gain that time.
Joe Logan, number 25.
From the young running back.
On the tackle.
Good job there by Revis, just catching the ball,
There's a 1st down Husky.
securing it away and getting downfield.
He's just a sophomore. Pulled up to varsity level this year to be for the backup running backs. With the injury to Sullivan sustained earlier in this game, doesn't look like he's going to be returning. Revis doing a pretty good job thus far when he's had his number called.
Yeah, Revis, a good athlete, really strong. You'll see him, you'll hear his name quite a bit when wrestling.
Oh, there's a nice throw. McNeil coughs it up. Hudler has it, 10-5, touchdown Huskies.
Oh, what a play. Sometimes better lucky than good. How about that?
Sam Hudler, just Johnny on the spot as the cliche goes. And how about that? Let's take a look at that one again on the Mountain Outfitters replay. We see a nice catch hauled in by Mason McNeil, and then the helmet to the ball, it pops out and goes about maybe 2 or 3 yards ahead, and there's Sam Hudler to catch it and goes untouched into the end zone. How about that circus play?
That's just how they drew it up.
Huskies, 22-7 now, pending the extra point. And this one from Richardson, no good as well. So he's missed a couple in a row. But the Huskies strike for 6 more. They're starting to pull away in this one. It's a 22-7 ball game here at the 3:10 mark. As now we take a look at that unorthodox scoring play on the Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone. 4 plays, 63 yards, just over a minute off the clock. And Nate will say that was a pass to McNeil for about 16 yards. Ball pops out, fumble recovery by Sam Hudler. And then he rushes it about 20 yards into the end zone. Like you said, exactly how Coach Piscopo and Coach Hampton drew up that play on the sideline.
Hey, that's perfect scoring there. We'll just call it that.
Wow, so as we see on the Miller Insurance scoreboard, 22-7 now. Huskies in control at the 3:10 mark before they'll head to the halftime break. So far, Nate, what do you feel has been the difference in this ball game?
Well, a couple of bounces going Ashe's way literally certainly have helped. We saw that, and then we saw the fumble kind of just found its way into Josh Hamilton's hands. But overall, the Huskies, they've just, right now, they've just outplayed East Wilkes. East Wilkes, they've beaten themselves a couple times with the fumble and the bad snap on the punt. But for the most part, the Husky defense, they've been able to hold this rushing attack in check.
Well, here's a nice return from Cleary, and he's breaking free. He's out across the 50, inside the 40. Are they going to catch him? 30, 20, and finally will be tripped up by Mason McNeil. But what a return right there, and East Wilkes is back in business.
That's a good answer back from the Cardinals. Well, that's going to set them up with some great field position. Exactly what you want to do from your special teams there. It makes a little bit of an amends for that earlier special teams blunder from the punt unit.
And number 17, that was Jared Wood, the sophomore wideout. And how about that answer? So great field position. Start off in the red zone. First and 10. Here comes the toss sweep on the near side. Couch has it. And fighting forward, he's inside the 10 all the way down to around the 6-yard line.
Ben Brown, number 27.
Ben Brown in on the stop for the Ashe County defense. East Wilkes sniffing out that end zone.
And I believe that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
Be second down and 2. Ball on the 6-yard line. Can still get that first. Get it down about the 4-yard line. Vestal. Man in motion, looks his way. Bit of a botch play, not sure where he's going to go. And, man, he has nowhere to go. That Husky defense right there to collapse on it.
Yeah, good job there. We saw Josh Hamilton and Tristan Jones there for sure. Several other Huskies in as well. It's a great stand on that play. Going to have to come up with another one there on 3rd down. And if they do that, you know East Wilkes is going to go for it on 4th down.
So broken play there. A lot of miscommunication on that one. I think they zigged what they should have zagged.
Yes.
Vestal was left kind of dead in the water, nowhere to go. Lucky to get anything. He gets about a yard. 3rd down and 1, ball on the 5. He'll send Couch in motion, handoff to the big fullback. And the ball comes loose, and the Huskies have it.
And picked up.
And the Huskies force another turnover. That one's recovered by Ben Brown.
Ben Brown for Ashe County holding the football.
Now the referees here consulting again. No inadvertent whistle this time, Nate. It's Husky football.
Yeah, good job. Looked like Matthew Greer in there, just really pulling with everything he had to pull it away from the big man and able to get it free. And Ashe defense once again making a huge play. And we'll see with a minute 23 if they can just get this ball away from their end zone at least. See if East Wilkes has to burn through their timeouts.
So how about that for a change of momentum? Huskies will be in a little bit of a tough bind here, starting off from inside their own 5-yard line, though. We'll call it on the 3. And how about that from the bend but don't break Husky defensive unit? Doing a great job stripping that ball. And here we see, Nate, we talk about turnovers have plagued East Wilkes in the past. It comes into play early in this ball game with already a couple of turnovers this quarter. Ellis going to keep it himself, trying to find some room off the right side. Not much doing there, though. Maybe a yard or 2 as he gets out to about the 5-yard line.
Along with Adam Holbrook, number 55, and that's out to about the 5-yard line.
Bring up 2nd down and call it 8.
2nd and 9.
Just outside of a minute to go now. Definitely can't afford a turnover here if you're Ashe County. Are you a little surprised East Wilkes didn't burn a TO there?
Yeah, a little bit. I think they could have got the Husky stopped and forced a punt from the end zone. You never know, but
here's Ellis spinning around and not much doing there, but still gets a couple of yards, and every yard's critical right here, just trying to get yourself some room.
Yeah, definitely, and who knows? East Wilkes may just be content with letting this thing. Well, somebody called a timeout.
And that's out to the 7-yard line.
Clock stopped. Still no signal on who took the timeout or why the clock is stopped.
3rd and 7 for Ashe County.
Or we'll just randomly stop the clock.
The officials, I guess, calling a TO here. East Wilkes may be willing to just roll into the half. Trailing 22-7, knowing that they will get the ball to open up the 3rd quarter. There's the clock rolling again. Down inside 20 seconds. And the Huskies, they don't even want to touch this thing, it looks like. They might have to get off one play. And they will get off one final play. They're going to go to the air. Airing it out deep was Ellis, and in and out of the hands of his intended target, Hudler. But the clock strikes 0, and that is how we will end the second quarter and the first half of play here tonight. Nate, the Huskies in business right now, leading 22-7.
Yeah, good solid half of football from the Huskies. And East Wilkes, this may be the first time they've trailed all year at halftime. I'd have to look up the stats on that, but either way, East Wilkes got a whole lot to do here in the second half.
So we'll take a break here for halftime. 22-7. Ashe County enjoying a little comfortable margin right now. They've grounded the East Wilkes Cardinals' undefeated flight as of this point. We'll see if they can hang on here in the second half. Stay tuned in for more Friday Night Football, Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD, Channel 1.
4G LTE is here from Carolina West Wireless. It's the fastest 4G data service available today, so you can enjoy downloads faster and send uploads without the wait. So bring on the apps and bring on the entertainment. And get ready for life at the speed of you. Visit your Carolina West Wireless store today and find out more about our new 4G LTE network, new products and rate plans.
Now entering the field is the 2015 East Wilkes Cardinal Pride Marching Band under the direction of Jennifer Weddington, with the help from guard instructor Amanda Ford and percussion instructor Jonathan Sale. Drum major is Evie Grimsley. The band received an excellent rating with third place in all captions at a competition this past weekend at South Caldwell. They'll compete again tomorrow at Freedom High School at 3:15. Tonight the band has prepared selections from their show entitled Chicago on Broadway. First song is All That Jazz, followed by Cell Block Tango, and ended with Roxy. Evie, is your band ready? You may now take the field.
congratulate Brent Long on his move to the central office as the HR director. You couldn't believe it because they love Hennep County. I don't know why he would want to go from that to central office. Because, I mean, he would get more money that way, being a principal, and he taught there for so many years. You know, and it's a smaller school, not as many problems.
Your 2015 Cardinal Pride Marching Band.
Little's Health and Fitness began in 1981. We are a 24/7 full-service, family-friendly fitness center with the finest equipment from Life Fitness, Hammer Strength, and Body Masters, as well as a great staff to help you get started. We have a 22-piece cardio area, so waiting is rarely a problem. We offer group classes for all levels, an extensive array of weights and machines, perfect for the beginner to advanced. We also have meal replacement shakes, tanning, dressing rooms with private showers, personal trainers, and child care is also available.
Well, finally, after a delay, we are ready to start the third period of action here tonight on Sky Zone Sports, getting ready for the kickoff. 22-7 our scores. We start the third quarter. A little bit of a delay there due to the lights going out here in Ronda at East Wilkes High School. Getting set here, teams lining up to kick this one off. Glad to be in with you once again. The Huskies, Nate, enjoying right now a 22-7 lead.
Yeah, they certainly have to feel pleased with the way the first half went for themselves and offensively and defensively. They really slowed down the Cardinals and forced some turnovers. And the Cardinals in that halftime locker room probably not real pleased with what Coach Atkins had to say to them. I'm sure they're definitely going to come out fired up in the second half.
Richardson lined up to boot this one deep. Nance receives it at the 4-yard line, making a couple of moves. And finally, was going to be stopped after a nice return there. Gets out across the 25-yard line. It's about the 27-yard line, and East Wilkes will set up here their first offensive possession in the second half, trailing 22-7. As you see there on the Miller Insurance scoreboard, and we thank all our Husky sponsors with us here. Proud to be bringing you Husky football through the help of Carolina West Wireless, Miller Insurance, Ashe County Ford, K&K Stitch and Screen, Mountain Outfitters, and Little's Health and Fitness Center in West Jefferson. So if you're Coach Atkins, what are you preaching to your team besides ball control?
Just hang on to the football and hang on to the football.
And the handoff goes to the big man, Brian, the fullback. He's out across the 30-yard line.
Good run up the middle.
Nothing too fancy, just a fullback dive.
Second and 4.
Gain 6 yards. Bring up second down and 4. And for the Ashe County Huskies, I guess if you're Coach Hampton, about the only thing you could say is you got to be able to finish some of those drives.
Yeah, that hopefully that field goal earlier doesn't really come back to bite us there when we had a chance for another touchdown. But for Coach Hampton, he's got to be fairly pleased with his team offensively. They've been doing their thing, and defensively forcing turnovers and making East Wilkes really earn every yard they get.
How about that carry from the fullback, Brian? Never was thrown down, stood up as they blew it dead after forward progress, and that nets him a first down. We've yet to really see the big breakaway plays from East Wilkes. But they have been able to put together a couple of nice drives before some turnovers ultimately ended them. Just kind of nickel and diming their way up the field here. And we see another carry by the fullback. Slung to the ground after a pickup of about 3.
And another good play by Josh Hamilton right there to limit anything that play could really get going.
So far, it's been exclusively Cameron Bryan to open up this third period, riding their workhorse fullback. Already gained him a first down and hold everything as we have a penalty marker on the field. Whistle blow this one dead. And that's going to be a false start against the Cardinals that will back them up 5 yards on the penalty. And we will redo second down. And we thank you for tuning in once again here on Friday Night Football from Rhonda, North Carolina. It's a battle for supremacy in the Mountain Valley Conference. Here tonight, both teams undefeated in conference play. East Wilkes undefeated overall. Here's a toss to the outside for Couch, and he is bottled up quickly. Leading the way for the Huskies, Ben Brown, number 27.
Yeah, good pursuit down the line from Brown, and good job over there. So Garrett Miller getting in there as well. And another nice play by the Husky defense, getting East Wilkes trapped before they could get very far upfield.
And quickly into a 3rd and 10 situation now are the Cardinals. Huskies in position here. Boy, Nate, if they could get a stop and another score, they may put this thing out of reach quickly in this third quarter.
Yeah, that's definitely what the Huskies are gunning for here, hoping to get this defense off the field real quick and put Colin Ellis out there to try and get that touchdown.
Oh, loose ball. He is able to corral it. Is Nance. A bad toss that time from Vestal, the quarterback. And he's going to be dropped back at the 35-yard line. And a 4th and long situation, an obvious punting situation for the Cardinals. Great job by the Huskies, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, now, the Huskies, they want to see that offense turn this quick 3 and out into a nice score.
So on comes the kicking unit. And another low punt, snap. This time the punt is able to be gotten off, and it takes a kind roll. Ended up being a very nice punt. Roll all the way down to about the 21-yard line where it will be blown dead by Nance. And the Huskies will come out here looking to keep momentum on their side after the defense forces the punt, does their job by getting the Cardinals off the field on offense.
Yeah, Ashe got a long way to go here, but as we've seen all season long, this team can pick up some yards in a hurry.
Revis in at the halfback position for the Huskies. Going 4 wide, twin receivers to the left and right. Ellis steps up, tosses this one out to Price. He's out across the 30 and the 35, makes a move, but going to be thwarted there from getting any further yardage. Forced out of bounds. Nice catch there. A couple nice moves by Price. He keeps this drive moving right along. First down quickly picked up by the Huskies.
Yeah, nice play there. Anytime you get some good yards after the catch like that, you have to be really pleased with that.
You know, the breakaway capability he has and his continued improvement throughout the course of this season. A nice complimentary piece on the outside lined up next to Mason McNeil as the big play threats for this Ashe County team. Of course, junior quarterback Colin Ellis, no slouch himself, always a threat to take off and run, and we'll see him do so here. Trying to evade some tacklers. He's out across the 40 and the 45 before he sidesteps out of bounds. A nice run there from Ellis.
And quickly, just like that, Huskies picking up some yards almost up to midfield.
That's close to a first down run by Ellis. Be a couple yards shy.
It's going to be a gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
We'll call it a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Huskies. Ball on the 46. Huskies have done a great job offensively tonight. Defense has done their part as well. Continued improvement from their side. And then we see Ellis again, and he loses the football. The ball comes out, and it looks like East Wilkes is going to gain possession, and they do. A costly turnover for Colin Ellis. And now East Wilkes going to be blessed with some great field position starting on the Husky side of the 50.
A tough break there for Ashe. Couldn't even quite see how that ball popped loose, but just a tough break there for the Huskies.
So Ellis turns it over. And that could be huge here. Momentum was fully on the side of the Ashe County Huskies. 2-possession lead and the football, putting together a nice drive. And here at the 8:33 mark, East Wilkes going to get back on offense. And there's the carry up the middle, and look at this, just pushing along the pile. He's down inside the 40-yard line. There's what having a big fullback will do for you.
And unfortunately for Ashe, got the crowd right back in it too. You heard them yelling pretty loud over there too. East Wilkes got a little break there getting the ball back, and now the crowd's back in it. They really want to punch this one into the end zone.
I'll tell you, Nate, Cameron Bryan really presents a different kind of animal for what the Huskies have seen this year as far as running backs and fullbacks go.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of man back there in the backfield compared to what they've seen this season.
Here we see Nance on the toss. He's inside the 20, the 15, still on his feet before he is thrown down by Tristan Jones. And also Simon Houck helping him out. But what a gain there on the ground, and now we're starting to see this East Wilkes team come to life on offense with some big plays.
That's got Ashe a little bit rattled here, near halfway through this third quarter.
So they pick up another first down, and they're in red zone territory at the 15. Last time they got this deep into Husky territory, they coughed up the football inside the 5. And the Ashe County defense forced the turnover again, or get the stop one. There's the fullback dive again from Bryan. Plows his way forward down to the 10-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards and make it 2nd down and 5 after the carry from the big guy.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Just over 7 minutes left, 22-7. Here's the toss to the near side. Nice job dodging one tackler, and he's into the end zone. You don't see too many guys get away from Alex Richardson, and Nance just did.
Nice little run there by Nance, and that changes the ball game completely. Ashe looked like they were marching down the field to put another score up, but the turnover bug bit the Huskies, and East Wilkes makes them pay.
You see that move on the Mountain Outfitters replay. You get great shots just like that from Mountain Outfitters, as well as all your outdoor needs in downtown West Jefferson. You don't see too many guys getting away from the grasp of Alex Richardson, but Nance did a nice job, just kind of shrugged him off, and on his way into the end zone, extra point attempt is good. Hey, we've got ourselves a ball game, 22-14 at the 7:02 mark as we take a look at that Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone.
4 plays, 48 yards, took just about a minute and a half off the clock. Andrew Nance able to get through the Husky defense there for a 10-yard touchdown run, and makes this thing a one-possession ball game.
We saw a couple of big breakaways there from Nance. That one 10 yards. And he had a big scamper before that, and as well as Brian, the fullback. He had a nice run himself, powered his way for a gain of 10+ early in the drive. And it all equates to an East Wilkes touchdown as they put 7 on the board. At the 7:02 mark, it's 22-14. Huskies still with the advantage and getting ready to receive this kick. As we'll see, number 40, Carlos Aquino, on to boot this one off. The junior kicker.
Price and McNeil back in deep to receive.
Price and McNeil back to return for the Huskies. And there comes the kick. It's a good high kick. Short, though. Will be fielded around the 20. There's McNeil trying to find some room to work. Bounces off one tackler and gets swallowed up after that. Gets it out across the 30-yard line. So pretty good field position here for the Huskies as they'll come back on offense, looking to straighten things out after your quarterback, Colin Ellis, turned over the football on a fumble the previous drive.
And you know the Huskies want to make quick amends for that, and able to put a nice drive together here. At the same time, East Wilkes, they want to keep all that momentum on their side. The crowd's back into it, and their defense pretty fired up out there.
Yeah, it seemed like they'd kind of fallen asleep after some great plays by the Huskies. Here's Ellis. He's in some trouble. He's going to be decked in the backfield inside his own 20 for a sack.
Once again, Jordan Knighton in there with making a big play. Senior linebacker, 5'6", 196 pounds, not a big guy, but we've seen him get into the backfield at least a couple different times this evening.
Yeah, we also saw Christopher Dixon, number 50, in on that. And how about big number 75 defensive tackle Quincy Linebarger, 260 pounds, helping lead the way. Ellis joined by Revis after the loss. Got to try to pick it up. There's a nice throw. No, it is intercepted. Ball was underthrown, and how about that athletic interception as he gets the pick? That's Alec Anderson. And look at that one on the Mountain Outfitters replay.
Yeah, Anderson just undercuts that throw nicely, picks that one off, and East Wilkes, they've got this thing rolling now. Huskies not quite sure what's hitting them at this point, but still a whole lot of game left to go.
Turnovers on back-to-back possessions for the Huskies. And East Wilkes, boy, this crowd really came to life after that one here at the 6:12 mark. They'll start off on the Husky 40-yard line after a beautiful pick by Anderson. Now Nance, nice cut back up the middle. Richardson there to meet him with authority. Tag teaming him alongside Tristan Jones, but a nice little gain there. Gets about 4 or 5 yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, Nance wasn't getting away from Richardson that time. He made sure of that with that hard tackle.
Boy, Nate, the Huskies, they're really going to have to regroup now.
Yeah, they've been rattled just a little bit here. A couple of key offensive turnovers, and East Wilkes offense coming back to life, and they've been doing pretty good all evening. Just the turnovers have been hurting them, but when they're hanging on to the football, Cardinals look pretty good.
A pair of turnovers have really changed the complexion of this ball game for Ashe County. Cayman Bryan on the carry once again. Close to a first down. They'll say he's about a yard shy at the 30.
That is just short of first down yardage. We'll call it third
down and 1. As Vestal gets his men quickly back up to the line. He'll send Nance in motion, but gives it to the fullback, and he powers his way forward. But about any time you see him get the ball, Nate, Bryan, you can count on him to get you at least 2 or 3 yards, it seems like.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to hold to any sort of a loss at all, and he's pretty much easily picked up that third down conversion.
Talk about his size again, listed as 6'3", 222. I believe he's every bit of that.
Yeah, he's definitely he's definitely the biggest guy out there on the field. When you got a fullback bigger than about your entire offensive line, that says a whole lot about his athletic ability.
1st and 10, ball on the 27. And back to work again goes Brian. Just powers his way on the fullback dive. Nothing fancy. But every time, Nate, there once again gets about 4 yards on the carry.
And a 4, 2nd and 6.
We'll make it 2nd down and 6. Inside 4.5 minutes in the 3rd quarter of play. Huskies in front by 8, 22-14. Got to try to come up with a stop defensively now after a pair of turnovers. This defense has played a lot in this 3rd period.
Cayman
Bryan again.
Tristan Jones, number 11.
Not the only thing, Nate, we see him switch it up is which side he carries it to.
Yeah, that's about all you're going to see difference from the play calls for that young man. Just up the middle to the left or up the middle to the right. That's about the only difference.
Held to just a yard that time, we'll say, so that'll bring up another 3rd and short. Need to get it down to about the 24. Excuse me, the 16. There's Nance breaking away, and you're not going to catch him. Touchdown, dial it up for 6 for the Cardinals. Nance strikes again. As we look at that one on the Mountain Outfitters replay, a nice cutback, and he sees nothing but green pastures ahead of him, takes it into pay dirt.
Yeah, for Ashe, unfortunately, it's been all Cardinal here in the 3rd quarter.
And now we're going to see a 2-point conversion attempt. They get it to the big man here on the near side, but he is not going to get in. They'll have to settle for 6. We knew it was probably going to come there, try to tie this one up, so the Huskies withstand the 2-point conversion, but East Wilkes did the damage, Nate. Pulled within 2 now with that touchdown drive as we take a look now at that. Ashe County Ford drive to the end zone.
Yeah, another pretty efficient scoring drive there. 6 plays, 40 yards, 2 minutes, 48 seconds. Maybe a little bit surprised they went with the 2-point conversion play there, handing it off to their fullback outside. Kind of surprised they didn't just let him pound it up the middle, but either way, the Huskies trying to hang on here for dear life. Still got a slim 2-point lead. 3 minutes left here in the 3rd.
So, wow, you talk about the momentum shift. This game right now, Nate's looking like a roller coaster. Huskies had the momentum early. East Wilkes did strike early and take a lead 7-3, but then it was all Huskies throughout the end of that 1st quarter and on into the 2nd. But right now, momentum fully in the favor of the Cardinals. They're flying high, trailing by just 2 with 3:24 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. We still got a lot of football to go.
Yeah, I don't know what the magic words were at halftime for East Wilkes, but they've come out and looking like a whole different team.
This kickoff will be fielded about the 16 by McNeil, dancing up the near side. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Oh, man, and a late hit was put on him. We'll see it come into play. I was about to say, I was hoping I was going to see a penalty marker on that one.
Yeah, that's about as obvious as it gets there. I mean, he was well out of bounds.
Oh, it's going to be personal foul. No. It's going against the Huskies. Oh, wait, they do have, there they did throw the personal foul. Nate, I was about to say I didn't think they were going to call it.
Yeah, offsetting penalties on this kick return.
So the Huskies still going to be in pretty good shape here to start off this drive. Would have been even better, but they got tagged for an illegal block with that personal foul and the late hit. And they will get 5 yards to their advantage.
And that's going to wind up being a 5-yard penalty against East Wilkes after all the math.
So Huskies will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 35. Trips to the left. Price, the lone man here on the near side, and trying to find his his H-back, Revis, and just over his head. This Husky team looks to be a little rattled out there right now on offense.
And that's definitely one play where you miss Sullivan out there. Ellis and Sullivan been working together all year long and trying to draw up those quick little swing passes out there, sometimes throw it to a different running back. They're not in the same place, so tough break there for Ashe.
See the same set again for the Huskies. Ellis trying to dance his way out of trouble. He's going to throw on the run, and did he get the foot in bounds? No, they're going to say he was out. McNeil made a diving effort, but to no avail.
Yeah, good effort there from Mason. Colin trying to throw back across his body a little bit there. Made a nice throw, just a little bit too far out of bounds.
That's quickly going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Ashe County Huskies. They're going to go twin receivers to the left and right. Ellis joined by Revis. He's looking all the way to the left side, throws this one, and a short throw. Catch is made by McNeil. And a nice job there for the Huskies.
Nice job
going to be enough to move the chains there. McNeil came back. I wasn't sure he was going to even be able to make that catch. A short throw from Ellis, but great awareness from McNeil.
Yeah, that was a good job looking to see where your quarterback was. Ellis was under tremendous pressure. Probably had to throw it a little bit quicker than he wanted to, but good job there by Mason coming back for that one.
And the Huskies able to get a 1st down. And a big one at that, out across the 45. Here's a throw in no man's land. I think some miscommunication could have been picked as we saw Joe Logan, junior corner, nearly come up with it, skip just in front of him. I think a little bit of miscommunication there from Hudler and McNeil on the routes. So after the incompletion, that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies. Ball on the 47-yard line. And I was going to say the fumble, but they blew the whistle there just as the snap was made, and that's going to be offsides.
5 yards, 2nd and 5.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll help the Huskies out and move it into East Wilkes territory. 2nd down and 5 now.
Go, all right, let's go.
So that moves it to the 47 of the Cardinals. Huskies looking to get back in the scoring column. We've seen this lead slip down to 2 as it's dwindled. They were up 22-7 to start this period. Now leading just 22-20 as he rifles it out to the far side. Price makes the catch, makes one man miss, and then slides out of bounds. A nice reception by the junior wideout.
Mason Hartley forcing him out of bounds, but that is a
Mason Hartley forcing him out of bounds. But that's enough for a 1st down for the Ashe County Huskies.
The Huskies kind of stemming the tide a little bit here, able to start moving the ball a little bit on their own.
We have a score start out over North Wilkes, 54-13.
Inside 2.5 minutes.
And that is a foul.
Here in the 3rd period, Ellis now coming to the near side with the throw. Catch is made. It's Grant Thompson, his 1st catch of the night, and he's pushed out of bounds. But a nice gain there, getting close to the red zone territory. I think it's made right at the 20. That's another 1st down picked up by the Huskies.
That's a good route by Grant, and a good throw there by Colin, right where it needed to be.
And that is an Ashe County 1st down.
So the Huskies getting things rolling on this drive. Good to see them back on the right side of things on offense after a pair of turnovers to begin this quarter. Now, Ellis looking in the way of Price. It was jumped, the route, and nearly intercepted. It falls to the turf. Well, that was a great job laying out for that one by them in the secondary.
That's a good effort there, almost a tremendous play. Kind of watching the quarterback's eyes the whole way on that throw.
It's an incomplete pass. I think it's 2nd down and 10. 2:03 remaining in the 3rd quarter on the Miller Insurance scoreboard. Huskies leading, looking to add on to it. 22-20 is the score. Ellis feeling the heat, being pursued, has to throw on the run, makes a nice pass over there to Price, takes a hard hit as he gets up, and oh man, he's not happy about that one. They've thrown a little hand there
Flags once
And
again.
he's going to be flagged, I believe, here for a personal foul. Looks like a little late push from the junior wideout. So the referee's conferring about this one. And that will be the call, a personal foul.
It's going to be a personal foul call.
Lost a bit of composure there to Judd Price.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times this year. Some of our guys lose it just a little bit. That time, it's going to hurt a little bit after that nice pass play.
Yeah, we saw in the first half, Alec Anderson gave Price a push. And I don't believe he was in on that tackle. May have been. Hard to tell from our angle. That's going to be a personal foul against the Huskies, as you said. Push them back after the first down was gained. And referees have yet to blow this thing back in play yet. We'll see what the call is. Not sure what's going on here now.
Well, it looked like Judd walked off the field. He may be throwing him out of the game.
Wow, I'm not sure about that. Call being made. But yeah, you said it. We saw Price walk off the field. The referees finished the meeting here. Waiting on an official call. And there it is, personal foul. And yeah, the referees gave him the boot.
I didn't see anything too malicious in that, but obviously the officials think they did.
And that's going to bring up a third and
So,
20.
personal foul. And Price, it appears, have to watch the rest of this one from the sideline. Has his helmet off on the far side, we see. And the referee's still talking about this one. And Nate, while we have just a moment, take a look here at the upcoming schedule for the East Wilkes Cardinals. And it doesn't get any easier here these next 2 weeks.
No, they've really got about the toughest close to a season you can have in this conference. After us, they go to Starmouth, and they get Wilkes Central at home and at West Wilkes. And we saw West Wilkes last week. They've got some decent talent out there, just weren't quite able to put it together against the Huskies for a whole game.
So after all of that, let's mark it 3rd and 20, and Ellis is going to be, no, he gets away. But they're going to say he was stopped. No forward progress was being made. He was trying to wiggle his way out and did so, but the referees had already blown the play dead. So
that was a tough break there for the Huskies.
That's going to be a sack.
And that's going to bring up a 4th and long.
4th down. And we know it's a long ways to go. Still waiting on the official
And that's going to be
spot here. They're going to say 4th down and 27. And this offense staying on the field for the Huskies, going for it. Ball on the 37-yard line of East Wilkes. And here comes the pressure again. They're lining up for the screen, and this one nearly intercepted. It's a turnover regardless.
And Cardinal defense, they read that play perfectly. That was going nowhere, even if Remus did catch that. But this team really fired up out there. And Cardinals, now they'll get a chance to take their, see if they can take their first lead of the second half.
Jordan Knighton, we've called his name numerous occasions here tonight, nearly came up with an interception there. Regardless, as we said, it is a turnover on downs for the Ashe County Huskies. Here with 58 seconds back into play. East Wilkes with the ball. Here's Nance trying to scoop to the outside, makes a cutback, and will be dropped there by Jones with authority at the 40-yard line.
Tristan Jones, number 11.
Tristan Jones having a nice game here tonight for the Ashe County defensive unit, helping try to get these guys fired back up.
Yeah, Tristan doing a good job out there, trying to lead, especially lead by example there. He really finished that tackle off nicely.
Under 30 seconds now. in this third period. Ball on the 40. Second down, 7 yards to go. Send a man in motion, kind of does a reverse handoff that time. Nance gets the call again.
Hit first, I believe, by Richardson, number 50.
I believe Richardson was first man on the tackle. Picks up a couple of more, and time's going to wind on down. And that will be the final play of the third quarter as the clock hits zeros.
And also the end of the third quarter.
We're going to be in for an exciting finish. It's 22-20 in favor of the Huskies. East Wilkes has the ball. We'll close it out here for the third quarter. 22-20, Huskies with the advantage. Should be in for a great finish from Rhonda, North Carolina. The Huskies are going to do battle with East Wilkes in this fourth period. Stay tuned in for the fourth quarter of action here on Sky Zone Sports.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Little's Health and Fitness began in 1981. We are a 24/7 full-service, family-friendly fitness center with the finest equipment from Life Fitness, Hammer Strength, and Body Masters, as well as a great staff to help you get started. We have a 22-piece cardio area, so waiting is rarely a problem. We offer group classes for all levels, an extensive array of weights and machines, perfect for the beginner to advanced. We also have meal replacement shakes, tanning, dressing rooms with private showers, personal trainers, and child care is also available.
And the teams head back onto the field as we get ready to start up the fourth quarter of action on tonight's edition of Friday Night Football. East Wilkes High School in Rhonda, North Carolina. Ashe clinging to a 2-point advantage right now. It's going to be a third down play right off the bat. And there's the handoff to the big man. And Brian carries the pile for the first down. The fullback does what he does best, rumbles ahead and moves it into Ashe County territory.
Heck of a run there. Took 4 Husky defenders there to finish that play off.
And we did get a final during the break. There we heard over the loudspeaker a final. Wilkes Central 40, Allegheny 28. So Wilkes Central keeps things going, bounces back again after their loss to Ashe County a few weeks back. 1st and 10 here on the Ashe County 48-yard line. Here's the toss to the near side. Man, shrugging off one tackler. Just threw Matthew Greer off of him. He bounced right off. He gets down inside the 45-yard line, does Church. Or excuse me, Couch. Pretty good pickup there, about 5 yards. Down to the 44-yard line. Just over a minute gone here in this fourth quarter. Hang on to your hats. It's going to be a good finish. Here's a nice, man, option. Keep Vestal still rolling along. He's down inside the 30-yard line before Brown finally trips him up.
Yeah, Vestal definitely not your biggest guy out there, but he's showing he can power it up the middle too. And this East Wilkes team just stays fired up over there on the sideline.
Coach Atkins liking what he's seeing from his team in this second half. So we hit the 10:30 mark. Oh, and the lights go out yet again, Nate. Wow, we've already had a delay here to start the second half of about 25 minutes or so, 30 to be more exact. Somebody didn't pay the light bill.
Yeah, that check got lost in the mail apparently.
And we would like to apologize, but due to technical difficulties, we have lost video and audio footage for the remainder of the football game. However, we do have the huddle footage to be able to watch the beginning and end of each play, so we will show that for you. Thanks again for bearing with the technical difficulties, and we hope you enjoy the next few minutes here on the huddle footage here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Again, we apologize for the inconvenience.
standing back live here in Zoom after our second power outage. East Wilkes High School. Special under center. Damn it. Empty on all three. Right here. Here's pitch inside. Bring down the goal, East Wilkes from the Ashe 5. 22-20. Best team under center. Martin that down there. And he's going to keep it himself. No. Stacked up. Watch the slant. Take away the slant. Best team under center. Best call sweet. One out left side. Flag down. In the back. Snap. Play. Kick is on the way.
Don't second guess the score.
He gets the pass off. Oh my goodness, he did an absolute beauty. Let's see who has it.
I think we got it. We got it.
Underway, now they get it right back. Crash penalty drills, 23-22. Get ahead. Quarterback keep. Let it near side. 20-yard line. Stays on his feet.
Down on the 23.
From the shot there. Good receivers can be excited, but to the far side. He's going forward, fix line. Linebacker now stepping up in the air.
Yeah, we've had him up there for a while.
Snap. Here comes the linebacker.
First down.
15 yards. First down. Taking the 9. The sophomore John Ridd. 3 receivers now split near side. East Wilkes. 5-yard line.
He's in.
Slant, throwing towards the corner of the end zone.
Very good for 17.
Start this possession on their own. Great time of the season after
Ball.
Here's top sweep coming in.
Nice job.
Here's a handoff. David Bryan. That's the back number 6. Man over motion. Handoff. Cooks 40. Handoff left side.
Andrew Nance's
Bottled up initially, and then the second effort kicks it. 3:17 left. It's playoff. Call six. Yeah, he's going to lose it. Pass play. Throw it off. Center. Pass. They're throwing. Corner. End
Hooch.
Handoff came Brian. That's kind of 4th down and 2. Trying to draw it offside. And now East Wilkes now they cover center Ryan in the backfield. Let's get a hard snap count. They're going to give it to Ryan. Ryan, he should have He's smarter than that. And Ryan, 3, 2, 1 snap.
So again, we apologize due to technical difficulties. We did lose video feed there and audio from the football game against East Wilkes in the Ashe County Friday night football matchup. It was a great finish to the ball game, as you saw there from the huddle footage. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Nate there and wrapping that thing up and what people saw there in that huddle footage. We did see a field goal put up by East Wilkes as they took their first lead again since the beginning of the contest early in the first quarter. And they took a 1-point advantage after a field goal. Ashe County would respond, though, with a nice drive, and it was basically all Colin Ellis as he punched it in for a touchdown. Ashe had the lead, but then the big blow there at the end of the game with about, 2.5 minutes to go, East Wilkes put the final nail in the coffin for the Huskies. What would end up being? Yeah, great throw there from Vestal to kind of seal that one. And I'll tell you, a gutsy call there to go with the onside kick for East Wilkes. Nobody saw that coming. And unfortunately there for Ashe, not able to get the ball back and try to have a chance to tie it up. But, two good teams really slugged it out tonight. And a whole lot of good and bad coming from this team coming from this game for both teams. Both teams really want to work on those turnovers, kind of hinder both teams throughout the whole night. But for the most part, I think two really good teams battled it out. And I think we both see why these two are at the top of the conference. So our final score again, 31-28, as the East Wilkes Cardinals remain undefeated. And, people can talk about it, and we did earlier, just how good is this East Wilkes team. They're pretty darn good, Nate, coming in here and doing some home cooking here tonight and holding serve on their home turf and coming away with a big-time victory. And they remain alone in the top the Mountain Valley Conference as the lone undefeated team now. And down the stretch, this was their first huge test. And coming up, Star Mountain, Wilkes Central, and West Wilkes doesn't get any easier there. So we'll really find out here in the next couple of weeks how good East Wilkes is. But from our vantage point tonight, they're a darn good football team. And no shame in the Huskies here. We played well and just wasn't meant to be there down the stretch. And we talk about some of the top performers tonight for the Ashe County Huskies. Colin Ellis, not the most accurate of nights. He threw an interception, but did have 235 yards in the air and a couple of rushing touchdowns to go with it. Don't have the final stats exactly there, but of course it was a big blow early on for the Huskies, losing Sky Sullivan. You never want to make excuses, but that certainly didn't help the chances for the Huskies tonight, the way that ground game had just started going here the past 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, that really hurt, losing your workhorse back there. And, John Revis did what he could there in the offense, but not a whole lot of experience there. And it also hurt there in the fourth quarter not having Judd Price. We saw him get tossed out of the game there in the third quarter, and that really hurt the offense there. It was pretty much up to Colin there and Mason McNeil to really kind of carry the team down the stretch. And East Wilkes kind of knew that and really just try to shut them down. But we saw Colin Ellis still find his way into the end zone, so kudos to him. Just a heck of a performance. And same goes to East Wilkes. A lot of good coming from for both teams from this game. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up again. Our final score tonight: East Wilkes remains undefeated, handing the Huskies their first conference loss of the year. Ashe will drop to 4-4 overall and 3-1 in Mountain Valley Conference. East Wilkes 8-0 and 4-0 in Mountain Valley play. Well, we apologize again for the technical difficulties. We hope to get things straightened out and be back with you again next week. Here for more Husky football on Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. For Nathan Ham and Corbin Richardson, I'm Tyler Rash saying good night and thanks for watching.